Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to week 2 of our Pride Month programming here on Animates. I am your one host, Lindsay, and here with my other co-host, Mackenzie. Mackenzie, say hi to the people. Yes. Are you ready for my choice this week?
I am excited because I feel like you're going to give me something good. You've already mentioned to me that the theme song slaps.
It does.
So,
it's an earworm.
Good.
You'll be singing it forever.
And I know we've already discussed that there's not going to be any weird hentai or anything.
Yeah, I was trying to go for girl love this week, but a lot of them were like creepy.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. It's just not what the type
Not
of
our
programming
vibe.
we want to bring to this here podcast.
Yeah.
So I decided to go for something someone else on the LGBTQ. And, you know, since Pride kind of started with a trans woman, I thought we would do a trans-focused series this week.
Hell to the yeah. I am transfixed.
Yeah. Great. But yes, so this week we are watching
Good transition. Sorry.
I hate you.
Sorry, what were you saying? It's a what?
This week it's a slice of life romantic comedy.
Ooh.
So you're gonna fucking enjoy it.
2 weeks in a row, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're all about love here for Pride Month, because love is love.
That sounded so sarcastic. I think she's just annoyed with me. She's not annoyed with the actual topic.
It's true. Stick to the end, because it's gonna be just me trying to start the podcast and Mackenzie just being an asshole.
Okay, so slice of life anime.
Yes,
I'll let you be.
It's a really happy, fun series. It starts, we follow our character Kusaku, as his mother has just died. So it's super happy. And his dead mother's last wish is that he would go live with this man that she knew so that he could take care of her, because he's like 14. And this man, turns out, is a leader of the Yakuza.
I was going to say, it's a fucking Yakuza.
100%.
I know what this is.
Do you?
I do. I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
Specifically know what this is.
Yeah. So it's him going to live with this family and his 3 daughters and 1 son, but turns out the son is trans. So sign male at birth, but behaves, presents as a girl, identifies as a girl, but this is the 80s. So it's sometimes a little bit like, you're a boy, stop it. But the thing is, so there is some, like, what makes this a really heartwarming series is that no matter how much flack that Hibari gets from being her true self, she's still like the lead character. She's still the person that we are cheering for, and she's still living her life as her authentic self. And she's just like hilarious and just so badass. And so I really wanted to watch this show. So we are watching Stop Hibari-kun this week. It's from Toei Animation, and it aired on Fuji Television in May 1983.
I was going to say, this is an old one.
It's a very old one, and you'll see just by the style of it. I mean, it's Hisashi Iguchi.
I've seen the cover. I know exactly what I'm in for here.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what's really funny?
What?
You want to know why I know about this?
How do you know about this?
This was supposed to be in my next week's.
Are you serious?
Yeah. As soon as you were like, the mother dies and he goes to live with a man, I was like, motherfucker, it's going to be Yakuza, isn't it?
Haha, got there first.
Shit, yeah. I got to redo my research.
I had to look through so much weird girl love anime. So...
Hey, I did the same thing. We both looked at the same playlists.
I went, you know what? We're going to go trans. We're going to go trans, see if there's any good things about that. And you know what? There's a lot of review from trans people online who have seen this show, and they are really happy it exists, and they really love it. So
yes, that was the same thing. I haven't seen any of it yet. It was just on my list for this week to do the rest of my research on, which I guess I'm going to have to swap. But I'm
Haha.
watching it anyways, so I'm not mad. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it's
be a
a, it's
good
a fun
one.
little series.
How long is it?
It was 35 episodes.
Oh, still got like a proper run then.
Yeah, it was like a healthy series. Anyways, we're gonna run away. We're gonna watch 4 episodes of Stop Hibari-kun. Well, we've just finished watching 4 episodes of Stop Hibari-kun. And talk to me, Mackenzie. How are you feeling after this?
Okay, so this show is a combination of great comedy
hmm
and soul-wrenching bigotry that is
Oh my
incredibly
gosh.
problematic.
Yep.
However, a lot of the comedy comes from depicting the people spewing the bigotry as these distorted and stupid caricatures of themselves, which I greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that in this story, Hibari is still like she is the star of her own story and she is still confident. She doesn't let any of this bullshit like get to her.
Y-
She's still got lead character energy.
You read my next line of notes
Oh.
almost word for word. Because I was going to say, like, don't get me wrong, for its time, it's still pretty good representation,
Mhm.
but it's also still terrible because I don't think a single person who actually knew about Hibari ever called her a she once.
I noticed
Ever.
that Kusaku, we practiced this right before we started recording and I still fucked it up. He doesn't misgender her when he's in front of other people.
That's where I was going to get to.
Mhm.
Hibari gets so much hate thrown towards her,
So
and
much.
you want to feel bad, but Hibari is so sure of who she is, and she doesn't let it get her down. Like, she'll just kick your ass if you disrespect her,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Absolutely.
she'll flirt with you endlessly if she likes you. Like, I really like Hibari as a character. She's adorable. She knows what she wants. She'll work hard to get it. And then, as you said, Kasaku he's a struggle because he's 100% willing to accept his feelings for her until he then remembers, oh, wait, but technically she's a boy, quote unquote. But then he gets grossed out. But then at the same time, he will defend her, like you said, in front of everybody else, coming to her aid and being like, no, 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 what are you talking about? Like, she's a girl, blah, 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 blah. And he gets this moment of like, oh, she's so pretty. I love her so much. And he has this constant fight going on in his brain where I'm like, just
Just give into
accept
it,
it, my
dude.
guy.
Just
Just
just let
accept
your
it.
let your feelings that you're feeling be felt.
Yeah. So he's a lech, but he's also trying really hard to be better. And you gotta give him some props for that.
Exactly.
So that's nice. Uh
Yeah.
we've had a lot of, our last episode is big on romance, and there's some romance-ish in this. The voice actors who played Hibari and Kosaku ended up getting married in real life after working on the show together.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
But yeah, this is a weird show.
Oh yeah.
It's incredibly funny, but you have to look at it from the point of view of Hibari and it making fun of the people trying to hold her down. If you don't, you'll have a bad time and end up hating it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely there was times where I was watching it that I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so like this is so problematic." But then I was like, while watching this, you have to remember that Hibari is not affected by the transphobia that is directed at her. Like you still have to remember that she's still the protagonist and she is still the one who's winning in all of these situations
Every
and
time.
every single time.
Like it doesn't matter if she's throwing you through the floor or if she's just like almost giving you a heart attack by calling you out with some crazy bullshit lie just to make you feel terrible about yourself. So absolutely, you gotta come from the. But also, because I did a lot of research on this, because I wanted to make sure that like I was getting the right kind of mindset from like what people are thinking about this. A lot of people in the trans community say that it actually really reflects what it's like to exist in society even today as a trans person, where every single person wants to call you something you're not.
Mhm.
And if you stay strong and you just say, fuck it, I'm the main character, I don't give a shit about what you think, it really makes a huge difference. So a lot of people on Reddit forums and like old forums from like back in the day, that aren't even really live as much anymore, just people talking about that being as problematic as the show can be, still being a good representation for the experience for themselves,
Absolutely.
which is nice. It's really nice for people to get an anime that speaks to them even when it is a bit problematic, because it uses that problematic stuff to, like, shit on the problematic people.
Well, and exactly, and the thing is the problematic behavior still exists, unfortunately, to this day, and so it is kind of good in the fact that it shows that, like, people are still shitty and we need to change this, and this is an appropriate behavior, but I guess it makes it easier for people to swallow because it is from so long, like, 40 years ago, and so it is
Yeah,
easier for them to kind of be
it's
like,
it's not,
"Oh."
hey, this is a new problem for me. This is a problem that's been going on forever.
Yeah,
And it doesn't mean that it's going to go on forever, but it just lets you know that your problems are not some new thing that people are making up and saying you're just making up. These are
exactly,
legitimate things.
and you're not alone.
Exactly.
Like, you have
Uh,
trans siblings that have gone through this as well, and they are th it's a community, you're there for each other and things like that, so,
exactly.
yeah.
Um, Also, before I break it down, I want to say the art, it's very simplistic in a technical sense,
Very.
but it has enough unique moments in the way that it presents itself that it separates itself from other animation of its time. It has a very specific, unique style. It also has a lot of inspiration from other anime like Urusei, a couple other things for just kind of how.
You can see some Paddle in there too.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if that's just because I
Absolutely.
love Paddle, but
Now, speaking of animation and things like that, and like being inspired by Urusei Yatsura, the intro song animation is so Urusei
oh my
in the way they're
gosh.
like dancing across the screen, the like reflective hearts pumping at you. And it's also a cute little tune.
Yep. I think it maybe went on a little too long.
Oh, it's way too long, and they just repeat the same word over and over
Yeah.
again,
It's
which is the
like
name of the
it's
show.
almost 2 minutes and you're like, "Alright, let's start the show already. This is only a
Yeah,
23-minute episode and you've wasted 2 minutes of it."
exactly. But it is still cute.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Uh, but the outro song,
Oh my gosh. The outro song is so good.
it is like this Japanese rockabilly song that is just like you just want to boogie down to it. It's so good.
Absolutely.
They got her on guitar, like just jamming away,
It's great.
having a good time. Love it. Bit of bad audio recording on the vocal side, but that's kind of persistent throughout this entire show.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like they recorded it on like a tin can at times.
It was just a tin
Um,
can with a string.
yeah, but don't let that deter you, folks.
No, it's
It's not
definitely
actually
worth it.
that bad. It's just
It's
just.
adorable, and, like, the animation in it is fun. Like, you can see the loops, but even still, they're I don't know, there's some complexity to the loops that they are just fun to watch.
There's one moment I'll get to, I believe in like episode 3, where it's the best quality animation of the entire thing, and it all revolves around boobies.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah. Well, and the thing is,
That's where they put the budget.
they have different episode directors throughout the series, and so the animation does change with the directors.
Coming into episode 1, we first meet Kosaku, and he's arrived in Tokyo because his mother has died, and she sent him off to go live with this guy. He's picked up by Hibari and company. And it turns out that Hibari used to be in love with his mother. And when he sees Kosaku holding photos of her, he goes absolutely feral and demands the photos by holding him at a nude phrase, instead of gunpoint, grenade point,
Yep, 100%.
which of course makes him get the photos. And he apologized for being so aggressive about it, but he needs that material. So they arrive, and Katsuku learns that these are actually Yakuza, and he is not stoked at all about it.
I mean, you know he's gonna be safe. If he's with
Well,
the Yakuza, I guess?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. He's like, why did my mother send me here? And he's like, I don't want to live with Yakuza because, as you said, it sounds too safe, but I think to him it sounds a little too dangerous.
He's like, "I'm gonna get drafted." Is that what you do in the Yakuza? Do you draft people?
No. No. But at the same time, though, there's actually a clip of some Yakuza guys walking around with like one piece tattoos, like leg pieces. And
Incredible.
they seemed pretty nice on the TikTok, so I don't know.
On
But
the TikTok?
shh, I'm old.
Yeah, you
So
are.
he goes to like leave and run away because, oh no, I'm not going to become a Yakuza. But he doesn't even make it out the door before deciding to stay moments later. Now, why does he stay? Well, he sees the love of his life, Hibari, in the doorway, of course. Oh man, she is as cute as a button.
Oh my gosh, she's adorable.
He is instantly love struck by her and her cute little blonde bangs. We kind of cut to later, and Hibari is introducing him to the rest of the family. And it almost feels like he's trying to pimp him out to his daughters,
Yeah, a little
which
bit.
is
He's like,
weird.
"Look at this one. She's very good. She's young. She's, got good hair." I
Yeah,
don't know why
exactly.
I'm putting that accent on.
But like, Katsuka's sitting there and he's like, hold on, you mentioned you had a son. And Hibari just like points with disgust to Hibari and it's like, Hibari's a girl, they're a boy, which sends Katsuku into shock.
Just like an existential meltdown. He's like, "Wait, what?"
But also like, damn, dad, way not to be supportive.
I
In fact, he just keeps calling her a pervert over and over and over again for being a boy wearing a skirt, like
Yeah.
a big old boomer jackass.
We're recording this on Father's Day, and I just wanna say real dads love trans kids, so
Exactly. Even the sister later on is like,
yeah, she has
hey,
just got a bee in her bonnet.
oh my god, she literally goes to Kosaku and is like, hey, can you try and make him more manly for us? Okay, we'd
Like,
really
such a
appreciate it.
piece of shit.
Fuck off. Turns out though that Hibari and Kosaku's rooms are connected, and she is being very flirty,
She's just a little minx.
which he is again gets very excited about because she's very pretty.
Yeah.
But then he has an existential crisis over now that he knows the quote unquote truth. Kosaku's morning is rough. Aside from being woken up by a giant brute who keeps asking him if he wants cigarettes,
Seiji?
Seiji, yep. Uh, he also stumbles in on Hibari naked post shower, which, being confident in herself, she just pokes at fun at him for being so innocent because he's freaking out as he has another mental breakdown
He's like, "Yep,
because
that's" it's like,
he
"Ugh."
now knows what she's packing
Yep.
for sure. And he's still willing to admit to himself that it was love at first sight. So that's good at least. But
Mhm.
he's also like freaking out. And
Do you
Hibari
think
can
he's
see
just
this.
intimidated?
Yeah. Oh, probably. And she's just making fun of him. She loves making fun of him.
Yeah, it is
And
cute.
honestly, you gotta poke fun at people.
Mhm.
If you're not roasting the people you like, do you really like them?
I know. I'm like, "That's how you know I like you, is if I start making fun of you."
Exactly. And so it turns out that Hibari is actually registered at school as a girl, and she is popular.
She's like the it girl.
Like hundreds of love notes every week from all the boys. She just gives them to Kasuga. She's like, here you go, you can have these.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, she's just like she's all the boys like her. She's super athletic. She's super intelligent. Like, she is
She's a
the it
catch.
girl. She's amazing.
But unfortunately, this means that Kosaku's instantly unpopular when everyone finds out that he's living with her because all the boys are jealous. Especially one boy who looks like he's in his 30s.
I know. I was like, he does not look like a preteen.
Speaking of preteen with my voice crack there,
I know. I'm
um,
having a couple too. I'm like, this is gonna be great.
he like gets all up in Kosaku's face, but is quickly dispatched by Hibari in a WrestleMania chokehold. From the top rope comes Hibari. And we end the episode with her just like flirting and making fun of Kosaku again and beating up his bully while he has another existential crisis as she teases them about their wedding because girl knows what she wants.
And she will go for it. I kind of should take note.
Exactly. And so we come at episode 2. We start in a dream sequence where Hibari comes on to Kosaku at a Roman bath and he keeps protesting, but he wants to kiss her anyways. But he's woken up by our daily trope,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
again the brute, different brute this time, offering him alcohol and standing over him like, "Ugh."
What a way to wake up.
I know, right? But it
I
doesn't
mean,
get much better.
I was like, this is probably like the tamest of what he does.
Oh yeah, there's literally later on, and I don't think I made notes of it, but later on in the series, he talks to one of the other guys about how he Kosuke got used to it, so now he's trying to make it even scarier every morning.
And then he does some pretty problematic things.
Yeah. Yeah. But this morning doesn't get better because Hibari wakes up half asleep and crawls into his bed to continue sleeping. Just innocently, like, oh, I walked too far, I'm still tired. But he's like half over her, like shaking her to get her up as the dad walks in.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
And oh, he just like nearly has a heart attack. And there's another interesting trope in this where
Oh yeah.
the white alligators.
Yeah, I tried to do research to see if it was like some sort of metaphor
Me
in Japanese
too.
culture. Nothing. Nothing that
No,
I could
everything
find.
I searched for just brought me back to this show.
Yeah, or it was like weird
Apparently,
albino alligator born in Florida. And I was like, that's not what I'm asking.
I know, yeah, it's for some reason anytime anyone has some sort of mental break in the family, or almost suffers like a near-death experience, they see white alligators running around the house.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, tweet us if you know.
Yeah, but so the dad nearly has a heart attack, and then we kind of move along, and like turns out that the father has hired a special tutor with a weird
Oh
ass
my
face named
gosh.
Spartan,
This
who's
guy.
being
Who looks like a flounder.
yeah, he does. His face is horrifying. Uh, he's supposed to teach Hibari how to run the family business, which okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Except the problem is
Yeah. Tell us the problem, Mackenzie.
that
You have to lead with your
when he
dick,
goes
apparently.
when he goes to test her by following the round dressed up as a dog and hiding in trash, he learns that Hibari is amazing at school, sports, martial arts. Every single thing she does, she's good at. And that's not good enough, which makes Spartan have to double down because if you're going to be the leader, you got to be a man. Be a man.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
apparently only men can be like
Be a
ruthless
man.
leaders.
Yeah, apparently.
Uh,
And here, though, I also really appreciate because Hibari's youngest sister, Suzume,
oh my gosh.
is like, hey, can we stop trying to change her? I really like her like this.
I know.
And I'm like, thank you, little one. It just shows that things are taught and learned, not born with when it comes to hatred of people. And man, fuck Spartan.
In his little flounder fucking face.
He like brings her to a gym and he's like, I'm gonna train you. She's like, okay. And then he's like, train you not to be a girl. And then like strips off her clothes and then tries to cut her hair.
So inappropriate.
So fucking wrong.
This is a teenager. This is like a preteen. Like no grown man should be ripping the clothes off of anybody under the age of 18 unless it's like a medical emergency and you need to like perform a scene. I don't even know. This is not an appropriate situation.
Thankfully, because she's a fucking badass, she just goes Super Saiyan and fucks this dude
up. It's fantastic. I cheered so loud.
Wrecks the fucking dojo.
Good.
So much so that he quits. He's the great Spartan who has trained generations of Yakuza, but Hibari was too much.
Yep.
So
fuck that guy.
Which is great. And then we end with them going to bed again, and Kosaku is admitting that he's glad that Hibari wasn't changed, and she tosses him a lemon and she heads to bed. Now, I did research on the significance of the lemon.
Okay.
It has a few meanings.
Ooh.
One is purity, friendship, and love.
Oh, that's really sweet.
The other is naughtiness and lust. Now, I'm going to guess it's all like 5 of those things.
I was like, I feel like it's both.
So, next time you have a crush on someone, just give them a lemon.
Chuck a lemon at, just whip a lemon at them.
I'm sure they'll totally get it.
I think they'll absolutely fall for you if you just whip a lemon at them.
All right, so we get to episode 3. We get another brute awakening. This one a little problematic. There's some problematic characters in this show at times.
Yeah, just be prepared for that. It is the 80s.
Yeah, but we get to see Hibari dressed like she's straight out of an 80s hair metal band.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And it looks so good. She's a fashion icon. I love it.
Just rocks it.
I don't love her dad, though, who is threatening to kill her for being a son who dresses like a daughter, which she simply just looks at him and goes, well, then think of me as a daughter.
Yeah.
And you won't have problems anymore. Problem solved.
I like how this tiny child is like, well, here's the solution to your problem. It's actually quite easy.
Takes almost no effort on your part.
Whoa.
But yeah, so it turns out it's actually the school's anniversary. And Bari's dressed like that because she's going to sing a song for the school.
Because of course she is, because she's so badass.
And she's killing it.
Yeah, she crushes it.
In fact, she's killing it so hard, she wins First Year Hottie Award.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm like, I have no comment.
Yeah, it's a little weird to be doing that at a high school awards, but oh well. Some people get really pissed off about this. And this is where what you mentioned earlier, we learn the reason that her sister is so afraid that she'll be found out. Because for some reason she thinks that they do. They'll just be like fully ostracized, they're maybe gonna be crucified.
Yeah, I was saying they're going to be crucified and that Hibari is going to be fucking decapitated.
But I also like when they show the graphic of her being decapitated. She's still like...
she's like winking.
Like, winking and being cute and like scaring a crow beside her because that's just her personality.
So just like even in death, she's like, I'm going to be me and I'm going to be amazing.
This leads to an incident where she's like, you need to be very careful. And then the next scene is literally like her talking to that one pissed off girl from before who accidentally like punches her in the chest and is like, oh,
it's flat.
I know their secret now. they're flat chested, and it like leads out to them, be like, they're gonna be a boy, but no, they're just like, oh, they're flat chested. They're
Yeah.
making fun of her and
Which
like
I
all
was
this
like,
stuff.
listen, as a part of the itty bitty titty community, shut up. It's not that big of a deal. Some people don't have boobs, and that's fine.
But this doesn't last for long because they end up overhearing a conversation with her and Kasuko, and they're like, oh shit, she might be a boy. And they decide to enlist some 9-foot tall fucking pervert to strip her naked for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Who gives two flying fucks?
Right?
And who needs to go that fucking hard to find out something?
Just
My God.
stop trying to rip clothes off of people. People, come on.
Ugh. I hated that scene so much.
Yeah. I was
so
like,
mad
do we
about
want
it.
to watch 3 episodes? Do we want to watch more? And then I watched 3 and I was like, we cannot end on this episode.
No. Later on, we see Hibari and she's decided to start wearing pads to fill out her bra, but she's talking about how confident she feels in herself now. And like, you know what? Hell yeah, gender affirming care.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do to feel good. Who cares if it's padding? Who cares if it's surgery? Whatever you need to feel good about yourself, just do it.
Yeah.
But then that's stopped by the giant pervert that shows up and tries to strip her down. But it doesn't matter because, again, Hibari just kicks his ass.
Well, yeah, because she's a badass.
She has very big Kimikura Orange Road vibes when it comes to not giving a shit. She is Madoka the Pick in transform.
Yeah.
But it turns out that's actually not the real problem of the episode. The real problem is that they're doing a school health check that for some reason involves the students having to get naked while being inspected from head to toe.
Yep.
Which is real fucking weird.
But also other students are allowed to watch each other's checkups.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's a little weird. But so like Kasuko is like trying to get her to stay home that day. And she's like, nah, motherfucker, I got this.
Well, yeah,
like,
I love that she's like, these bitches are trying to get me down. Fuck that. They're not going to win.
But so she goes to school. She goes to the locker room. She strips down in front of these bullies. And we are given the most obscene boob reveal I have ever seen. It is K-drama and Bollywood levels of absurdity.
I was uncomfortable watching this.
It was the best animation quality of the whole show so far, which is insane.
Yep. 100%.
But it leaves these bullies gobsmacked because there's just these giant
jaws on
knockers
the floor.
just flying around magical girl transformation style.
Yep. Ugh,
And
so weird.
Katsuko is like going home with her, like, how'd you do it? How'd you fool him? How'd you fool him? How'd you fool him? And he like gets in the house and he's like, how'd you fool him? And then you hear, oh, Katsuko, is that you? And he turns around and there's another Hibari.
There's 2 of them now.
And it turns out that her sister, who isn't ready to be crucified, wore a wig pretending to be her.
I just thought that it very much worked.
It did. But the problem is she wasn't doing it for Hibari. She was doing it for her own self-preservation.
Like, I don't want to be crucified. I guess I'll go to school for you.
She's mad she had to do it, but she needed to keep up appearances for what she calls her pervert brother, which, they use the word pervert a lot. It pisses me off.
I know. It drives me nuts.
No, we keep talking a lot of shit, but this is still a really funny series. Again, when you look at it from the point of view of just Hibari living her best life.
Yeah.
And then we jump to episode 4, which, okay, the intro of this episode is all over the place. It is fucking weird. So we start with like dreams of Aunt Kasuku trying to escape Queen Hibari as he like, do I leave the queen? Do I not?
He's
but
like
I
trying
must.
to climb up this hill.
But then he ends up back in her arms anyways, which is truly what he wants.
100%.
Then, of course, he's woken up by a new tactic from the Brute, which is, again, not good.
Nope. Not culturally sensitive at all.
But then we jump to Hibari telling Kasuko that her father was trying to R-word her because he was beating her up for looking like a girl.
Yep.
And first off, the father's being an absolute fucking dick.
Oh, yeah.
But like, whoo, that's some dark wording there.
Yeah.
And again, she's trying to make her father look like a bad man for the
because I mean he's
doing.
being a bad man.
But whoa,
man,
that came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay,
yeah. And then we get a white alligator.
Yeah, because he has a heart attack. Like that's not what was happening.
I mean, I almost had a white alligator.
Yeah, yeah. And then like they're on their way to like school or whatever. And one of the brutes is trying to convince Kosuku that he's going to become a girl too if he keeps hanging out with Hibari.
Which I was like, that's not how that works.
And of course, Kosuku being stupid is like, oh shit. Well, I can never hang out with her again. Like tells her like, you can't hang out with me. Get out of here.
Don't want to school with me anymore.
Yeah, she's so sad about it.
Yeah, because they're friends. She thinks they're friends.
and she likes him.
Yeah.
But Hibari being Hibari is very persistent, and Kosaku being Kosaku is struggling with staying true to his word and actually staying away from her because he's attracted to her beauty. He decides he needs to go to a boxing gym
I
to
was like,
prove himself.
he does what every man who's insecure in his masculinity does, and it like tries to overcompensate by doing like manly
Yep.
things.
I gotta be a man, which again, such a bullshit thing to do.
Oh yeah,
But he gets his ass beat by the bully Sheena.
the
Who
30-year-old
just
teenager.
the 30-year-old teenager, exactly. And Hibari is pissed about this. She jumps in the ring, she knocks Sheena's ass out, but now there's a new problem. A new girl shows up, and Kasuga thinks she's so cute, and Hibari is pissed.
Yeah, she's like, he's mine.
They are flirting. And so we get some random scene about one of the brutes fighting cat ninjas for some reason in the evening. I don't understand why.
Nope.
And then we get another absolutely fucked up scene where the new girl, whose name is Ray, is changing. And her brother runs in looking for a comic that she had taken. And he makes an insane comment stating she's looking prettier lately due to love. And that she's so pretty that even I, your little brother, am getting turned on.
Oh, I hated that part so much.
And all she does is blush and say, wow, he's so honest. What the fuck is that shit?
Right? You never know. And I'm like, I hope this was just a really bad translation, but I don't even know like what else
I
it could
highly doubt
possibly
it. I'm pretty
be.
sure that's just what it was.
Oh
It
man,
was
it's
fucking weird.
Oh yeah, super inappropriate.
Like, get the fuck out of here with that weird incest bullshit.
I would throw the book at him and just like, oh man.
Look, I know some people are into that genre. No fucking thank you.
Well, yeah, I was like, there's so many things. They're like,
Absolutely not.
there's a lot of reasons why this is like a no for me, dog.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. So,
Mhm.
anyways, there's a big boxing weekend camping trip coming up.
Woo!
And Casca's so excited to get alone time with Ray.
Ooh, what a babe.
But Hibari being Hibari gets a job as a camp manager so that she can tag along.
Yep, I love it.
'Cause
I love
she
it
does
so
not
much.
take no for an answer.
No, she does not.
So we get on the bus and we get a surprise. Ray doesn't actually like Kosaku. She was actually talking about the bully Sheena.
Yeah.
Which makes Hibari so happy. And she's like, ooh,
She's like, fuck yeah.
hell yeah. And then we end with her just like staring off in the distance on this bus being like, you'll never escape me, Kosaku.
Which is a little ominous. Like,
Little
girl,
ominous, but like,
chase your dreams, but also chill.
it's still funny though.
Oh man.
Like, oh man. Here's the thing. She's trying really hard, but I feel if he actually told her like legitimately, like, look, I need you to stop, she would.
Absolutely.
But she knows for a fact from the things that he says and does that he does not actually want her to stop flirting with him.
Yeah, he's saying no, but
Which is a weird thing to say, but that's legitimately what
no,
this is.
yeah, exactly. It is like, yeah, like you said, it is that thing where if he was to be like, sit down and like stare her straight in the face and be like, stop, like she would absolutely.
Exactly. But she loves playing the game when the game can be played, and the game right now can be played.
Hell yeah.
So she's going to play the game.
I mean, fair.
Uh,
Bitches love
so-
games.
Anyway, so in episode 5, we're back on the train, and it appears that there's a car following them and spying on them, but who knows who it might be.
Oh my gosh. They're like, it's just
She, like-
someone following, like, it's just someone who's also driving the same way as us. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. And
And
it's like,
a telescope,
she takes the kettle and pours hot water on it.
and it somehow burns the guy's eye on the other end. Some fast-moving water.
Man,
Turns out that's the least of their problems because both ends of the tunnel collapse
Yeah.
on them.
that was terrifying.
Like, shit, man. Like, that's...
Should have been a
Terrified
way
me. Yeah,
bigger
like,
problem than it was.
people are pretty chill about it.
Yeah. I'm like,
And they're
I
also
would be like,
trapped
we're dying.
In the dark.
Yeah.
There's no electricity anymore. They are in the dark. And so Hibari starts like this plan of getting Ray and Sheena together, even though Sheena likes Hibari. But it doesn't matter because things get mixed up and Ray and Costco end up together in the darkness anyways, where she
Oh, man.
confesses her love. Oh, you. I love you. I love you so much. No one actually kisses in this,
No.
but
That's
they-
just Mackenzie
that's
being
the
gross.
general vibe she's given off. But whoops, good luck explaining that one. But it's
I'm
all
sure
good
this will
though,
cause
because the
no problems
emergency.
later on.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
But it's okay because the emergency crew is here and they're firing cannonballs
that seems
to
safe.
break up the rubble. Sounds like
Feels
a real bad plan,
feels
right?
very
Well,
Samurai Pizza Cats.
yeah, and that's because it's being done by the brute,
Yep.
Seiji. And it turns out that's who's also spying on them before because Hibari's dad is worried that Kosuke and Hibari have something going on.
Ooh.
And in the end, the Seiji ends up driving them to the camp, but not before acknowledging, because he's the good brute, to Hibari that it must be hard for her to see Kosuke falling in love with someone else.
Mhm.
Because Seiji gets it and he's there to help. The other one's an asshole.
Yeah.
He is so much there to help that he's actually going to help Rei break up with Kosuke.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, when the brute takes him to the beach later, he
Yep.
gets drunk and then feels too bad to tell Kosuke the truth, which leads them back to dinner where everyone's getting drunk, especially Kosuke.
Yeah.
But it's not.
These children.
But he said no. They were legitimately just pouring it down his
They
throat.
literally held the back of his head and like poured it in his mouth.
Yeah, that.
I was like, maybe
Don't do that.
don't force children to drink.
No, not a good time.
What a field
But
trip.
then, because he's a quick drunk, he starts announcing
Because
things
he's
to
like
everybody.
12.
Yeah, I think technically in this they're 16, 17,
Still, they're children.
but still, yeah. Doesn't make a difference. I'm just
No.
clarifying. But this leads to him announcing that Rei said that she loved him, and then being the drunk bastard he is, gets up to tell everybody that Hibari is a boy because he's drunk and has no sense of anything anymore. But
man.
thankfully, Hibari just grabs a sake bottle and just knocks this motherfucker on his ass out
Which-
cold,
She should.
shards of glass in the head. This ain't your secret to tell, bro.
No, absolutely. Don't out other people. That's their business. That's their story. Don't out
Exactly.
people.
And so it's later on, and the boys, being perverts, want to sneak into the girls' bath to watch Rei and Hibari. Which Hibari only agreed to because it turns out Rei can't see when she takes her contacts out.
Yeah. She's like, I can't tell anything.
Yeah, but Kosuke is pissed that a boy is bathing with Rei, which I was like, come on, man, you were so close.
I know, right? You're like,
You were so close.
almost had it. Come on.
So close. But Rei, when all this happens, when he barges in to stop it, finally gets angry enough to tell Kosuke that not only is he a pervert, but she likes Sheena and not him, which is like, boom, finally.
Oof, oof.
Tell him how it is. Stop having him live in this stupid world of his own where he thinks it's all about him.
Just
'Cause
KO.
it's not. But then in another twist of fate, Sheena plans to break into Hibari and Rei's room to confess his feelings to Hibari. But before they go in, Kosuke's like, look, man, you can't do that. It's actually Rei that's into you.
Oh.
And then Sheena absolutely roasts Rei on the other side of the door that she's about to open. Like,
Yeah, and they're
roasts her.
Oh yeah, and they're not walls.
No, they're like paper.
Yeah, you could literally hear through these so easily.
And man, I felt so bad. So she like runs away into the night, and I was like, oh no.
This poor girl.
But we end with back on the bus going home the next day, and Hibari is flirting with Kosuke, putting lemons in his mouth.
Was it lemon?
Just
I thought it
shoving
was
them in there.
I thought it was an orange.
Well, it looked like an orange, but he said, "Oh, it's sour."
Yeah,
So
I just thought it
assumed
was
a lemon.
I just thought it was like a weird orange. Maybe it was a lemon.
You ever eaten a peeled a lemon? I've peeled a lemon and eaten it before.
I have not, because I'm normal.
Well, I like to eat lemons, so
When life
fuck
gives you lemons,
Eat them.
Mackenzie peels them and eats them like a sociopath.
I also don't peel my kiwis. I eat that shit whole. The skin is delicious.
I don't eat kiwis, so
Well, you're missing out.
all right.
So yeah, so that's Stop Hibari-kun. And honestly, it was a great time. I'm gonna watch a shit ton more of this
Oh, really?
because I need to see what's gonna happen. Apparently, later on, they introduce a trans male character.
Oh, cool.
The series, unfortunately, I learned does end abruptly, which is unfortunate. But I want to see where it goes. Do people find out about her and are they accepting? Does she just keep kicking the shit out of people, or does it
hope
get
so.
repetitive and boring? I don't know.
don't know.
But I'm gonna watch a few more episodes probably after we finish recording, and just like because we were originally gonna watch 4, we ended up doing 5.
Yeah.
I literally messaged you like 2 hours before recording, being like, Are we doing 4
I know,
or
I
5?
I rewatched 4 and I was like, "Gosh, shoot, we should do 5."
You gotta finish the
Gotta
arc.
finish you gotta finish the two-parter.
But yeah, I like this. It's
Mhm.
problematic, but it's also representation. I have no problem putting this out on the podcast and sharing with people and sending the links out where to watch it. I think people who are smart are going to watch this and see the people being bigots and be like, "Wow, they're the ones that suck in this show."
Yeah. They're not the people to look up to.
No. And if you're thinking the opposite way where the people like dad are the people to look up to, like my comments on the first episode of Pride Month, kindly go fuck off.
Yep.
I said it much nicer in that one, but at this point, I don't give a fuck.
Trans rights
Um,
are human rights.
Fun fact: in the start of that episode, when I said, "Hey, if LGBTQ stuff
How many
gives you
people
the
dropped
ick,"
off?
25%.
Oh, gross. We didn't want them here
I s-
anyway.
I said, if you don't like this shit, turn off the episode, and 25% of people turned it
They
off
were
right
like,
after I said
okay, because they were simps. They were little cucks and they listened to what Daddy Mackenzie told them to do.
that. Oh no! Don't say that. That's weird. Anyways,
Oh man. Well, yes. Okay. So what would you rate this show?
I would give this. It's not a perfect show,
No.
but it's fun. I enjoyed it. I'd give it a solid 6.96.
You were very, very close to what Mal gave it.
Ooh, what'd Mal give it?
Mal just went 7.
Oh, yeah. It honestly, like, I would have given it a 7, but there's just some weird stuff with the audio that kind of pushed it back a bit for me.
That's fair. The
But
like
I think
kind of
it's-
weird racism.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And that stuff's not just like, oh, Hibari's overcoming it. No, that's just weird stuff of
Yeah,
the times
it's
that
literally-
doesn't hold up.
Literally nothing to do with the plot.
No.
Like, could be taken out and nothing would change.
It's let's take this man and dress him up as a stereotypical tribesman and make him make ooga booga noises and use it for comedy, which ain't funny. So,
No, people's cultures aren't punchlines.
no.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty close then. I'm on par with the rest of the world.
Yes, you are. It's also ranked
It's-
number 4,209.
Ranked, or that's how many people rated it?
No, that's ranked.
Oh wow, that's impressive actually.
I
I didn't realize this had that many people into it,
yeah.
considering only 2,300 people have rated it. Huh.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. Oh man. All right. Well, that's this week's episode, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with us. No, this is a really good one, and I think people would enjoy watching it. So when you're finished, go listen to it. You know what else you can do once you're done listening to this episode? Go follow us on social media. We have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, and we have a YouTube with some cool videos that you can go check out. And we also have a Patreon. It's pretty cool. It's free right now, and you can
Yeah.
go listen to an episode where I talk about my first time going to an anime convention.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so it's
And
lots of
then
fun.
On the YouTube, we got some like actual video content coming up where I have a surprise watch for Lindsay.
I am nervous. You've
which
broken
will
my
be
trust so many
fun.
times.
It's just a short little 10-minute one. We've got another card captor cloud card tier list coming up, and then I've got a VTuber artists share their favorite 80s and 90s anime video coming out, which will be pretty sweet. I got a bunch of really popular VTubers to be a part of it. So look for that in the month of July.
Yeah. Mackenzie's
Possibly
been
this
doing
month
some
if I can get
cool
my
stuff.
editing ass together.
Oh man. But yeah, no, it's great. We really appreciate if you guys just follow us because it's not creepy. It's great for us. but
Follow us online.
Yes. Mackenzie's address is
Whoa. I only gave you that in case I had a heart attack on camera somehow.
white alligator, white alligator, white alligator. All
Anyways,
right. Well,
bye.
that's been this week's episode. We will see you next Tuesday, and love you all.
Yeah, trans rights are human rights. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. I'm gonna go watch Mashal again.